Welcome to New Friends Cinema,
where we get to know each other by sharing our favorite movies.
From childhood throwbacks to recent comforts, we walk through the stories together.
Keep in mind this podcast contains mad spoilers, and join us at the
New Friends Cinema.
Welcome back to New Friends Cinema. I'm Courtney.
I'm Dakota.
And we were workshopping how to start the podcast. Yeah, we just went with this one.
Sometimes it just comes out the way it comes out, You can't.
It's been a little while. I think that's also difficult because it's been a couple weeks.
Every time it's been time, we come back and we're like, so
what are we doing?
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Microphone.
I'm new here.
What do I do with my hands?
Oh.
Don't touch the microphone. That's why I have the banana for that reason.
Yeah.
Hi.
Nice to be here.
Hello, listener.
Hi, guys.
Good to hear, be with you.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, we're watching you right now.
What are you doing with that? Put it away.
Get dressed, you perv.
Wow, on the toilet, really?
Really? Is that what you think of us?
Huh. All right.
I'm honored, actually.
Honestly. That's you time.
That's your time moment.
Yeah, so it's a high honor to be invited in.
If we're facilitating magic happen, so be it.
Hey, just relax, listen to the dulcet tones, and let everything just slide together. Or out.
Yeah, just envisioning so many toilets right now. Anyways, We are so glad to be back. It's been a bit of a whirlwind.
Summer is busy.
Summer's been bopping.
We were kind of crazy being like, yeah, let's just start season 2 at the beginning of summer.
And us literally having all of these plans with, other people, each other, trips,
we're driving
away.
Here, we're driving there, we're doing this, we're doing that.
Don't do it, folks.
We have been able to have some fun.
We have.
Do some fun things together this summer, though.
You took me to your Crystal Beach.
I did?
I have it in my purse, the little vial with all the crystals.
That was such a beautiful day.
It was a day of friendship.
It was. Everybody came out and we walked around the town.
Yeah.
And we went and frolicked, and Emily was like fucking
full Gollum.
Full Gollum on the beach. She is so cute and so funny.
Oh my goodness.
It's like next to an old mine site, so there's lots of quartz crystal.
And iron.
And
a lot of iron.
We were there, and Emily was like skittering around on the beach.
White bathing suit with dyed hands orange.
All orange. Her
and
butt.
The face she made when we're like, is that going to come out? Nope. Well, actually, Emily let us know.
Yeah. I'm going to see her next weekend. So.
Nice.
That's amazing. And then yesterday, it's Pride.
Ooh, happy Pride.
Pride where we live right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most of the rest of the world, it's in June or May, and here it's on Labor Day long weekend.
Yeah, baby. It was delightful. We went to a drag brunch. We watched this flash mob dance to Chapel Roan, and Dakota cried. It was so beautiful.
Cried a lot yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, I said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. It's that there's like such a beautiful feminization happening right now.
Yeah.
And something with Chapel Roan is that it's like sexy outside of the male gaze.
Yeah.
By women, for women.
Yeah.
And
such an inclusive, kind, fiercely loving.
Yeah. And then just to be like in the community, and we live in a pretty small town, and the street was full for the parade, and everyone was just out and being themselves, and it was a safe space, and it was a beautiful community gathering. And I feel like the powers that be want us to feel isolated a lot of the time, and want us to feel like we're not powerful, that we're individual. And that was just a moment of great power and community and togetherness. Yeah. And I was just like, holy shit, we're like literally magical creatures. Like,
totally.
So I don't know. I'm like ready to solve all the world's problems. Like world peace.
Yeah.
Ending hunger.
Yeah. Free Palestine. All of it. Yeah.
All of it. So
trans rights. It was just such a multi-layered day yesterday because there's just something beautiful that happens with Pride when the queer community gets together. It's just this honest acceptance and inclusion, but it's also shifting into an intersectional way of understanding queerness in all of the different layers that it exists, whether that be in a free, safe place to live and be queer, whether that is, you know, accepting all women, and depending on, you know, the intersections of your womanhood or your non-binary nature or your masculinity. Like, it's just such a fucking mosaic pride. And it's not just queer rights, it's just human rights. Everybody's about loving and accepting that.
Yeah.
And fighting for that, actually. I think there's some passivity that comes with the idea of love. Like, it's passive, but it's fierce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yesterday was fun, and we got drunk in the morning.
Oh, we got so drunk that the fact that we ordered drinks, forgot we ordered the drinks. Dakota clocked her drinks coming across the beer garden and was like, those look good. What are those
pink slushy drinks? They look so good.
The server comes and drops them in front of us. We're like, oh yeah, they're for us.
Oh, that's the drink that I've been ordering all
literally
morning.
ordered.
Oh my gosh, but we sobered up. We got our shit together.
We did. And then we walked up the giant mountain of a hill to go home.
And then I had a barbecue last night. It was great.
Lovely. I watched the movie last night.
I watched it as soon as I got home because I was like, if I don't watch it right now, then I'm not going to watch it.
Not going to watch it.
Yeah, not going to have time. So,
without further ado,
right? Should we just
dive in? I have so much to say about this movie.
Oh my gosh. She'd never seen it.
I've never seen this movie.
No, we can't. We cannot. We are two fruit flies just buzzing around an apple, have no idea what's going on. Girl, the call-in corner, what are we calling it?
Oh, before we get going,
You've got mail.
You've got mail. The movie rental is due.
Has been returned.
So, we got an email, and I'm not gonna lie, it's from a friend of mine, a dear friend.
So I thought it was from a stranger at first, and I was like, holy fuck, somebody neither of us know sent us this novel, and then at the end, she mentioned you. I was like, damn. But thank you. But also
thank you.
Not any less valid. I just, you know.
You got really excited.
Like,
and technically she's a stranger to you.
She is a stranger to me.
Yeah.
Not anymore after this. I know her very deeply after this.
Well. So this is from my dear friend, Melissa, longtime listener, longtime friend. So I'll read her email. Courtney and Dakota. First of all, big fan, living for the pod. I've shared my favorite childhood movies, and I did really go back. Aside from the first, I've not watched any of these in about 20 plus years. Which is interesting because these movies are still locked into our, you know, lizard brains. So she's listed them here. Free Willy, Magic in the Water, shout out, we'll talk about that in a second. All Dogs Go to Heaven, and The Land Before Time, which is a common reoccurrence for people when I talk to them. There's something about millennial culture in that movie and the chokehold that it has on us. These movies is exceptionally nostalgic to me. The VHS tapes that I replayed over and over and over. As a perpetually introverted animal lover, I think these films played an important role in solidifying my personality. They also fed into my continued fantasy to befriend a wild animal that I can call to at will, but who ultimately remain in a wild animal, free to roam state.
Yeah.
And like dinosaurs, who wasn't a dino kid in the 90s? You know, a bit of a footnote back to our Jurassic Park episode. Also, it's undeniable that putting them all together, I see that the all too common heavy-handed dose of trauma, which is so prevalent in millennial childhood movies. Free Willy, for example, foster kid befriends an animal and leaves it to be free. Magic in the Water, child of divorce, befriends an animal, bracket, it dies or does it, bracket. All Dogs Go to Heaven, an orphan befriends an animal, it dies. The Land Before Time, baby child long neck loves his mother, she dies. You need conflict though, right? How many parents die in current kids movies? I need to see the stats. Anyways, I love listening. It's so fun to revisit the movies of the past with a 2024 lens and to have both of your brilliant, hilarious insights. XOX Melissa.
So sweet.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes. She's also sweet, hilarious, intelligent queen. I love and miss you. I got to see you this summer, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, those are all pretty emotional movies. I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of Magic in the Water. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so it was filmed locally.
Here?
Yeah, Caslow and some scenes in Nelson. But it's essentially like this Loch Ness monster that lives in the water. And it's got themes of like environmental espionage and polluting the waters. And I think his name was Orky, and he would eat Oreo cookies, and he was getting sick. And then for some reason, like,
only eating Oreos.
No,
probably.
the pollution in the water.
Oh.
And then the father somehow has like this like mind psychic meld with Orky and knows that he has to like save him. Ultimately, Joshua Jackson is in this movie.
Oh. Love.
Yeah. For me, it was one of my favorite movies of all time. And the fact
Really?
that I live here now is also just really trippy.
A little connecting.
Yeah.
Huh, yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that, but maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun to see things that you recognize
Yeah.
on TV.
And isn't that funny too that like there's so many nostalgic movies that are deeply rooted in some kind of like family oriented drama.
Yeah, well, and she mentioned about how many, deaths are in the modern movies. I think a lot of it now it's like a parent just passed. Like a lot of the movies I feel like these days it's like they've just experienced a loss.
Yeah.
And it's like after that. They don't tend to climax with that anymore.
Yeah, thank goodness, really.
It's more about like working through and like afterwards, I think a lot of the time. But Land Before Time, yeah, I definitely used to like that movie. But I kind of also hate it.
Oh, why?
It's too sad. It's too dark for me. Like I just I can't, the vibes are like when I was little, I remember it really, like I don't even know if I liked it or if it was like adults kept putting it on for me to watch. You know what I mean? As a kid.
Yeah.
And I was just like sitting there like getting traumatized.
Wide-eyed, dissociating.
All Dogs Go to Heaven though, I did watch that a lot. I did used to really like that one. And then Free Willy, I think I saw it once and I just didn't.
I think it was a once or twice thing.
Yeah.
She lives on the coast, so she absolutely loves orcas.
Yeah.
So I think that has a huge component to it.
I know for a lot of people though, those ones are like totally
ride or dies.
Like for sure.
Yeah. And Sweet Melissa is very similar, and I think you'd get along because she's on the edge of crying. And I say
at
that
all
with love,
times.
at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm crying right now.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Anyways, thank you for sharing, Melissa. That was really sweet. It was good to see you this summer. And
thank you.
If anyone would else like to, send in a small little blurb about those go-to movies that you either think fondly of, either a nostalgic piece or a comfort watch or something that you genuinely press play on all the time.
Or
as an
even
adult.
like something modern that you really like that you want us to, that you think we should watch. You know what I mean?
Recommendation.
Just like reach out to us, shout out to us or whatever. DM us, email us, newfriendcinema@gmail.com, New Friend Cinema on Instagram. And we have a Facebook page too, so,
right on.
There. All right. Are you ready?
I am ready. Oh my goodness. This movie's iconic.
You just saw it for the first time last night?
Yeah.
And you're saying it's iconic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. That's an honor. All right. This week, we watched 1995's Empire Records.
What a time capsule. Honestly, watching that now?
Yeah.
Almost 20 years ago?
Yeah. 20.
30. Yeah. 30. Oh shit. You know me and math. We don't go well together.
I was like, wait, am I 19 or whatever?
No, I don't math.
Yeah. I love this movie.
How many times did you watch this movie? Why did you like this movie?
So this is funny. I remember getting this movie. So when I was a kid, I lived in a small town. We had a farmer's market every Saturday.
Cute.
My family and I, we would walk down to the farmer's market and then walk home. And that was like our Saturday morning, afternoon thing.
That's so sweet.
So when we were walking home, one of the people in our neighborhood was doing a garage sale. And they were selling VHSs for 25 cents a piece.
Dang.
I got Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Excellent.
And Empire Records. I just was like, I saw Liv Tyler on the front and I was like, yeah, this looks amazing. And I was young. Like I was probably 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, but probably about 12 at that time. And, yeah, so, and I recognized her. I had already seen Lord of the Rings. Like, so I recognized her from that.
Yep.
And it's just like a group of cool looking teens on the front of the, on the front of the VHS. It's like, wow, I've never heard of this. So I took it home and I watched it and I was just like fucking obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You were locked in. There's no
Everyone
way it could
is
go back.
so cool. The boys are cute. The girls are cute.
Yeah.
The outfits, like, the fashion's amazing. Those little skirts, like.
The conflict is feeling real.
Yeah. It was definitely, like, it kind of scared me a little bit when I watched it the first time. Because it was introducing me to a lot of themes that I just didn't, know about. So
that adolescent and a young adult, because most of them are like out of high school working.
Yeah, they're like on that cusp, right? Yeah. So a lot of them are going to be going, like one of them's going to Harvard, one of them's trying to get into art school. Some of them are deciding, am I going to stay here and work another year? Like there's, they're kind of at that stage.
Like a transition.
Yeah.
Those early 20s, like really early 20s, late teens, that transition out of adolescence and adolescent problems, but how they influence your adult worldview. Like, it's just really interesting individually. Some of them are a little more deep than others.
Yeah. But you kind of need that as well, right? Because not everyone is going through deep shit at all times. No. Like, some people are truly just having a good time for a while. And they might get, Mark is eventually going to have a real reckoning to deal with. But right now he's just fucking vibing.
He's vibing.
And that's okay, right? So I love this. It's an ensemble cast.
Yes.
It's like, it's riotous. It's raucous. I think they did an amazing job of really capturing the flightiness of young people as well, and the emotional highs and lows. This whole movie takes place in one day.
Yes.
And the way they also used the music to we're getting interludes, and then it's also like ramping up. Like, we're getting these moments of pure fucking chaos.
Yep, capital C.
Right? But then we're also getting these really beautiful like community moments as well. And I think that because this movie it's about a record store, it's about music and how it just works in our lives and like is like constantly there for those of us that enjoy music. And when I was a kid, I think it was really influential to me, and I wanted to work there. You want to be one of them. Like,
we all want to be Warren at this point.
Oh my god. And then when I was in my early to mid 20s, I worked in a bookstore that was open till midnight on a very cool street, and I had a long-haired drummer manager, and we didn't really like the owner because he inherited the business from his dad, and he didn't really care about it like his beatnik father did.
Interesting.
And we had a real tight crew, and we would kind of make jokes that I don't want to say his name, but that he was like our Joe, kind of, because he really cared about us. And a lot of us were significantly younger than him as well, but it wasn't like creepy. It was just like, he was just a good dude, just like trying to run this store,
which
in a place in it where it's like Chapters and Indigo is taking over.
Yes.
Bookstores are closing all over the city, and we're just trying to make it go. And we're at this like flagship location. So I think I kind of sought out some parallels in a way as well.
Yeah. You were a magnet to these lived experiences of going through these themes.
And we sold records too, so.
I'm excited to unpack all of these characters, but the biggest, perhaps shock for me was the camaraderie and the caregiving that Joe had for these kids. And I thought it was going to be like, I love a workplace comedy. This is essentially a workplace comedy, dramedy. And often the boss or the guy in charge, the person in charge, is going to be the villain. And the way that this movie kind of spun that a little bit, because at first you're kind of led to believe that he's the villain, because he's the boss. But in fact, story will share later on that he was trying for the best interest of all of them, which was just really surprising. Let's get into it.
Okay. Yay. I will say I just spent time looking this up, so I'm going to say it.
The director.
Yeah, the director's name, and now I'm not even on.
Last name is Moyle. That's all I remember.
Alan Moyle.
Alan Moyle.
1995. I did not do any of that cool research that you do about the box office. I'm assuming it was a hit. I feel like this is kind of a cult classic movie as well. It's not like Clueless where everybody saw it and everybody loved it.
Right.
In the same way, I don't think.
But it hits it's for specific people.
Yeah.
Like, it's a puzzle piece in many of our lives, and it is pretty instrumental in, you see yourself in this film in some way.
Yeah, in somewhere you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, big ensemble cast. I won't just read everyone out right at the top. We'll just kind of introduce them as they come. But I will say, like I said, Liv Tyler, very young, and also Renee Zellweger.
I was so shocked to see her.
So good in this movie. She's so fucking good in this movie. Yeah. And Ethan Embry, he was everywhere at that time.
Which one's him?
That's Mark.
Right. See, I was mixing him up with another movie where he's in love with Jennifer Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Oh, yeah, Can't Hardly Wait.
Yes,
that movie's so
good.
Yeah,
okay.
All right. So, the movie opens. Lucas is in the office. Lucas is played by Rory Cochrane.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Dazed and Confused. He had really long hair in Dazed and Confused. Yeah, very different characters. In Dazed and Confused, he was kind of the Mark character.
Ah.
You know,
was
that
he
like
confused?
stoner boy.
He
was the most confused. Yeah. So in this one, he's like that kind of poet guy, right? Like he's in his beatnik era for sure.
Oh yeah.
He's got his black turtleneck in the dead of summer.
Mm-hmm. Leather jacket.
Yeah.
Motorcycle.
His character's funny too because it's like, it's all his fault, but he's being very like,
I love this man.
It's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Joe's letting Lucas close the store for the night. So he's in charge of doing the bank deposit.
Mm.
He's in the office. He's doing the bank deposit. He's counting the money twice. There's $9,104. As he's like at the desk, he opens a drawer and he finds all these documents that indicate that the store is going to be bought out by a chain company, Music Town.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the picture of the front of the store and there's like this little image that he can slide over to see like the new signage. There's like employee contracts and all that stuff.
It's like HMV coming in to steal your local record store.
Yeah. So he is like, what the fuck? I have to do something. Instead of taking the money to the bank, he takes it to Atlantic City. He rolls up to the casino. He bets it all. He doubles the money. He gets 18 grand.
This man is confident too.
He's very slick. There's like a girl on his arm right away. She's like, your money, baby.
Ooh, let me blow on those dice.
He's like, so you're saying I just have to roll a 7? That's it? And then he does it, doubles it. He's got 18 grand. He lets it ride. What does he get?
Snake eyes.
Snake eyes. Loses it all just like that.
Oh.
He's fucked.
Yeah. You can really see the world come to a slow stop in his eyes.
Fuck. So the next morning, AJ, played by Johnny Whitworth. AJ is so cute.
He's definitely got that cute 90s puppy love, that hairstyle that I think he made prom get actually recently.
For a minute.
It looked good. But he's got that sweet, moody. He reminds me of my boyfriend in high school.
And
so cute.
The big oversized flannel.
Yeah.
And he's an artist. He's very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So AJ and Mark is, as we said, he's the like little stoner kid. He's
chaos.
Very chaotic. He's really into guar and metal. And
he's got beans. I think that's something you always say.
He is full of beans.
He's got them beans.
Full of beans. Yeah. And also I knew Mark. Like I knew at least one Mark. Like of all of these people, Mark. I knew Mark. Yeah.
Dare I say maybe I was a little bit of Mark? Sometimes. I've got beans, but I'm incredibly uptight, like fucking Corey.
Yeah. So AJ and Mark, show up outside of the store and they wake Lucas up. He's sleeping on his motorbike outside of the store. Like he's just like, cause I feel like it's not like when something really like traumatizing happens and you're just like, I don't know what to do.
I'm just gonna sit right here.
He's like I feel like he literally just drove back and sat there fucking all night, just like disassociating.
Totally.
Yeah. There's so many names. Fuck. Lucas is being very cryptic with them, but he delivers to them the message that he lost the money, basically. And then he takes off. He rides away. So Joe, the manager, rolls up to let them in, and he mentions that it's Rex Manning Day. So we'll put a pin in that for a second. Yeah. So as soon as they get inside, the phone rings. The bank is calling. So Mark passes Joe the phone to talk to the bank. As he's on the phone, another line rings. Mark picks that one up, and it's the owner. Mitchell, the owner. So the guys, go in the back room and they're trying to play it cool because they know that the money's gone. Joe fucking storms through the back room, goes into his office, checks the safe, and it's empty.
Yikes. Before we move on, that back room, there's a couch, which will be a central feature of this movie.
Yeah.
But there's also like an art station, multiple desks and tables. Like, this is an employee back room for the ages. Like, it looks like a place that you want to hang out at. Like, this whole store is like, I want to work there.
Yeah.
But that also just feels like a home. Like, that back room, this employee kind of like space.
I think that that's a big kind of message that we're getting through this whole thing about what this store really is.
Yeah.
In that it is a place that brings the community together. It is a place that people feel like they can be a part of it. And even the staff feels like they can come here and they can be themselves and express themselves, and it's a safe space. And Joe has created that for them.
Totally.
You know, and even like we're going to talk about right away here, but like people coming in when they're not on shift.
Yeah.
To be in the space and do things, you know, to do their schoolwork or whatever.
It's definitely not giving the Old Navy employee back room that I had when I was that age. It feels far more warm.
Well, and also like you are allowed to use this space. You are allowed to take up space in this space. Yes. Like, yeah, it's not just like the fluorescent overhanging lights and a table with like the hard chairs and a microwave that's like
and the propaganda of like, make a customer smile today. Yeah. Fucking kill me.
Exactly. So Gina, played by Renee Zellweger, is picking up Corey in her amazing vehicle.
It's a Jeep, right?
It's a Scout. It's a Harvester Scout, which is it's my dream vehicle.
Oh.
Yeah. So International Harvester, they used to make Scout, they had Scout and Scout 2. They used to make like, they're like Jeeps, right?
I am low-key finding out this about you right now. That you're a hardcore Scout girly.
And they just make fucking semis now.
Really?
They don't make them anymore. But they're just like the cutest.
It's an artifact.
Yeah, totally.
Of the 90s.
I want a Scout too, very badly. Anyway, so she picks Corey up in her topless, like top down, bright orange International Harvester Scout. From Corey's beautiful home. Like,
she got money.
She's upper class for sure.
Yeah.
Corey comes running out. Corey, played by Liv Tyler. She is very driven, very reserved, very goody good. Uptight, very regimented.
Yes.
She is wearing this like fluffy blue sweater and the like plaid skirt.
Yeah.
With the combat boots.
Quintessential preppy grunge girl.
So Corey comes out and has cupcakes and she wishes Gina a happy Rex Manning Day. Corey has a Rex Manning record and she's like kissing it and stuff. And she says that she's going to offer herself to Rex Manning today and asks if he's the right guy for her first time. So Rex Manning he's a musician. He's a singer. He's older, he's kind of top of the pops and stuff, but it's like
he had what I would assume as like this massive career in those 80s decade. Like he is an 80s heartthrob. Who's that artist that's like a Rod Stewart-esque, suave, kind of like this ladies man,
silk shirt,
a coif of a hair. Yeah. And this man's attractive, and I feel like if you were around at certain time, like that would be that's your Backstreet Boy, you know, like for the 80s.
Yeah. So back at the shop, AJ is telling Joe that he's going to finally tell Corey that he's in love with her, and he's seeking advice from Joe, but Joe is very preoccupied.
He's busy.
He's
dealing with stuff.
And in this, AJ kind of like makes it so that he's like talking to Joe. Joe's like, just tell her, like, what do you want from me?
Bouncing off exactly what he's saying.
And then he's like, okay, I'll tell her by 1:30. 1:37. Okay. And then he's kind of like, Joe says I have to tell her by 1:37. And it's like, Joe had nothing to do with that.
Joe didn't say anything.
So he's like made this in his mind, like, this is my deadline. I'm going to do it. I have to do it by this time.
So cute.
As the girls get to work, AJ heads them off at the door and lets them know what's going on. And everyone is doing a really bad job of playing it cool. They come in, they're like, "Hi, Joe. What's up, Joe?"
Just like, we know what's going on.
They're playing this M&M game where it's like they all pick an M&M out of the bag, and then Gina picks one, and whoever has the corresponding color gets to pick the first like record of the day.
Love it.
To play, and they also all get one veto per day.
I love this little world building rule that they have.
Yeah.
This sense of like respect and honor the M&M choice.
Yes. Yeah. So then we slide into a montage of the staff getting ready to open the shop. Oh, Mark got to pick first.
So you know the kind of music that Mark is just going to bust out.
Yeah. Right now. So it's, they're dusting, they're putting the sign out, they're getting the till ready, they're just doing everything they have to do, the opening duties. In the back room, Corey's like studying, and Joe asks her why she's there because she doesn't work until the afternoon. And she's like, "Joe, it's Rex Manning Day. Like, obviously I'm going to be here all day."
Yeah.
So we see now is when it goes to his "Say No More, Mona More." So we see what kind of artist he is. He's a mainstream guy. He's a pop guy. He's an older guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming in today for a meet and greet.
Yeah. His fan base has aged a little bit with him. We'll see later.
Yeah. So Lucas comes back to the store and Joe confronts him about the money. Lucas has a bucket of coins with him. So it seems like he had gone back to Atlantic City to try to get it back. And it's like almost empty. Yeah. Joe had told the owner on the phone that the money was at the store, that Lucas had just forgot to make the deposit.
Made the save.
To get them some more time. So Corey's dad sends her a bouquet of flowers to work.
Mm-hmm.
And here we see that there's a lot of pressure on Corey to succeed at school.
Well, she was doing her calculus homework in the back.
Yeah. She's going to Harvard. Yeah. Already going. And the note was like top of Harvard class, whatever. It's like, so there's immense pressure on Corey. Deborah, played by, what's her name again? Robin Tunney, but my thing auto-corrected. Yeah. So Deborah rolls up to work, Robin Tunney, on her Vespa. She's stomping through. As she walks through, she flips the other girls off. She storms into the bathroom. She's got this like short black hair.
Yeah.
A long sleeved zip up sweater.
You can see tats.
Yeah. She's more alternative than the other girls.
Yeah.
So she storms into the bathroom. Joe asks Lucas, like, if he's in trouble. Like, he's really like, "Lucas, where's the money? Why did you take this money? Like, are you in trouble? Do you need help? Like, what?" Yeah. So he's just really trying to figure out why he did this. In the bathroom, Deborah is disassociating, staring into the mirror, and she just starts hacking her hair off. She cuts all her hair off. Ugh. Big chunks at first, cuts half of it off, then has this moment. She's like, yes, cuts it all off. Shaves her head. She looks amazing.
And you can kind of see this transition from her being in that dissociative state into, I'm not sure, into like a sense of mania, but you could see her feeling a little bit more alive. Like she's cutting her hair off, buzzing it off, and then she looks at herself in the mirror with the buzz cut and she smiles. And I'm like torn between, is this like a continuation of a dissociative state in mania, or is it like, I feel free now, I feel lighter now?
I have had a couple of girlfriends who have shaved their heads, kind of in a spur of the moment way. And what I've heard from them was that there was a pure sense of freedom and lightness in doing it. Yeah. There's something about being a woman and having long hair and having this hair on our heads where it's like we're kind of subject to a certain gaze. Yes. And taking that, just fucking getting rid of it. Yeah. There's this real sense of like grounding and like ownership in doing that from these people that have done that I know that's the emotion that I heard that they experienced. So
it's very,
I feel like there's like a piece of that too where it's just like, because we're not supposed to have bald heads.
No, not by this
and just to like
standards.
Fuck it and get rid of it, and then it's just like, what now? I'm still me and I'm my own, and I think we're gonna find she's going through a really hard time, and I think that maybe it was a bit of mania, a bit of both. But then just doing it and having that kind of almost like this relief moment, I think. And
because,
being like, hell yeah. And also the world didn't end.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did that.
It was this really interesting thing that happened in the pandemic too when we were all shut down. Like on social media, loads and loads of, women or folks just shaving their heads, right? Mm-hmm. Because we were no longer being perceived in the way that we were typically being looked at and observed. And the freedom that comes with just being blank. And there's something about not having that gender norm or presentation of femininity or beauty or presentation, however you want to look at it. It was just like I saw this person going into this bathroom and leaving differently, mm-hmm. not only appearance wise but internally. Mm-hmm. You could really see that she's going through it.
So outside the bathroom, AJ is gluing coins to the floor.
This is the chaos I love in the world.
And he's talking about how he has to tell Corey he loves her by 1:37 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So Deborah comes out of the bathroom bald, and AJ is like, you did have hair when you went in there, right? Like, I'm not losing it.
Wait, what?
And she was like, yeah, it's still in the sink if you want to glue it, which is
love it.
So good. AJ gets up to kind of confront her though, because she's deflecting, right? Too.
Yeah.
And he's confronting her. She's wearing this long sleeve shirt, as we said, and there's bandages on her wrist, mm-hmm. so she's hiding that. And you can see here that like AJ really cares about Deborah, but he's being quite very aggressive about it, being like, no, quit joking about this. This is serious.
Yeah.
And it's obviously causing Deborah a lot of discomfort as well, right? Because she's kind of getting, and she's being called out in a way.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily what, you know what I mean? But he's upset because he fucking cares about her. He's like, what are you doing? Right? So Lucas kind of comes up and he puts his arm around Deborah and he's like, she's fine. Just leave it. Right? She kind of walks away, and then Lucas says to AJ, like, she's in the store. She's gonna be okay.
It's a good sign she's here.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how she's here, she is here.
Yeah. So there is tension between the girls. They do not all get along.
Historical tension.
Yeah. It's Corey and Gina. And then it's Deborah.
Yeah.
Like, Deborah doesn't like them.
Actively
they don't
catty
like her.
and
Very mean.
Yeah,
very
back
mean.
and forth. Because it's not just one direction. I think Corey's a little on the outside looking in and getting some mean. But there's, like, Gina and Deb are head to head here.
Well, Gina's more confident, I guess. Like, Gina's more, she's like, fuck it all. Like, she's just like, she's witty. She's giving the comebacks. Yeah. Mark is having a whole screamo moshing moment. Just like him and his friends are just moshing around. They're just doing their own thing. So Joe has told Lucas that he's not allowed to leave the couch. He has to stay at the couch.
This storyline, so good.
So this has already happened a couple times, but everyone, as I said, gets a veto during the day, and they all use it for Mark's music, basically.
Yeah.
Mark is being vetoed twice.
Yeah.
At this point already, people are just like, no, that's enough. Like, but he keeps getting his music on. And then they keep
I think, what did AJ do? He like burned the underside of the CD of one of Mark's music. It's like, this will not go on again.
Yeah. Mark's friend Eddie, who works at that pizza place like next door, I think he also might work there.
He had a locker.
Yeah, so maybe he kind of works both places, but right now he's working at the pizza place.
Yes.
So he comes over and he brings Mark a mixtape and some special brownies that he made. And he's like, this is my special recipe, so you know what that means. Lots of sugar.
Yeah.
They're weed brownies though.
Yeah.
So as people are hearing about what happened with Lucas, the story's changing. The story's getting greater and greater.
Broken telephone style.
Eddie comes in, he's like, hey Lucas, I heard you went to Vegas and like did all this.
There's a hit on you or something, right?
Yeah, you married a mobster's wife and all this.
I love that.
Very fun. Eddie's cute as hell too, like in his own way.
Sweet, doofy, kind of stoner kid, obviously the weed brownies, but here for a good time, and just everybody likes Eddie.
Yeah. So Gina plays that "Give Me Money"
song
dedicated
to Lucas.
And she's Gina does this a few times during the movie too, where she'll like talk on the loudspeaker. They have like what do you call it?
System.
A PA system. And she's like, give me money like Joe's money. Like all this, right? So they're all kind of, they don't fully get it. They're joking, right?
Yeah. They don't know how serious maybe it is.
Joe is about to let them know how serious it is. He's fucking had it. He storms around. He's passing out the Music Town employee contracts.
Ooh.
And in this moment, we find out that Joe didn't tell them that this was going to happen because he had gotten the money together to buy the store.
Low-key hero of the story trying to save the
and
day.
And that it wasn't going to happen because he had this meeting and he was going to buy the store and then it wasn't going to. So that's why he didn't even tell them because he was dealing with it. But now that Lucas took the money, there's no fucking way that Mitchell is going to sell him the store.
And Music Town is going to take over.
Yeah.
The real villain of the story. Capitalism.
Yes. Now we're getting set up for Rex Manning Day.
Mm-hmm.
There is a line of fans forming. As they're setting up, there's a kid who's shoplifting CDs. Lucas takes a couch cushion.
Yep, because he still has the couch.
Yeah, and he comes out and he's like chatting with Mark, and Mark is like such a doofus, you know? He just doesn't see what's going on around him.
No.
But Lucas clocks the shoplifter.
Yeah.
He says something about make them uncomfortable, and then he like goes up to the shoplifter.
He changes his shoes first.
He does. He's changing into his sneakers. And then he goes up and he's like kind of fucking with the shoplifter a little bit, like messing with his mind.
And this is a kid.
It's a kid, younger than that, like probably 14 or something, right? And then a dramatic chase ensues. This chase scene is so funny. They're running. He keeps coming like back into the store. Lucas is like waiting for him around a corner. It ends in, Gina gets on the PA system and she's like narrating the chase or whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a shoplifter!
Yeah. And it ends with Lucas like lying low in this vehicle and like watching in the mirror and then opening the door as he runs the
car doors
by and just car doors him. So now they're both stuck on the couch.
Yeah. They've both been bad. They're both in the timeout zone.
So Rex arrives and he's just the worst. The second he gets out of the car, he's like upset because his hair got cut too short. And then he like turns around. He's like, "Ugh, this place? Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, this is, right? And
he's slimy.
His manager, who is played by Debbie Mazur,
she's in a lot of things.
She is, yeah.
As like, not necessarily the lead of the movie, but she's always circulating the main character in a lot of movies.
So she's kind of like, Rex, Middle America loves you. Like, no venue's too small. Like, come on. Like, she's like in charge of his feelings, basically.
Yeah.
So in the staff room, Joe's on the phone with the cops about the shoplifter. This little shoplifter is mouthing off hard. He says that his name is Warren Beatty. She's like, is that like an old movie star or something?
Something.
I think so.
Yeah.
So, but everyone just calls him Warren. Like, takes it. Everyone's like, okay, Warren.
All right, Warren.
So they take his photo with all the CDs that he tried to steal. Gina comes out of the copy room, the back room, wearing only one of the Music Town smocks, employee aprons. Cause it said in the contract, one of the things, it was like, no revealing clothing, no tattoos, like all this. And she's like, it says it in the contract, but they must be confused, revealing clothing, like blah, blah. So everyone's like dancing and Gina gets up. She's like dancing on the couch, wearing nothing. And it's in this moment that Rex comes in.
Yeah. It's a very like, record scratch moment.
Yeah. So Warren keeps piping up. Like he's
tripping the whole time, the little shit.
Yeah.
He's so annoying and mouthy and making fun of Rex, making fun of everybody.
Yeah. Rex, it's funny because Rex was complaining about his haircut being too short.
Yeah.
And the first thing Lucas does is comment on his hair.
Yeah.
And he's like upset about it, right?
Oh, they can notice.
So the meet and greet starts. As I said, Warren and Lucas are trapped on the couch. Warren is trying to pick up the quarters that AJ glued to the floor. Rex is finding now that a lot of his fans are older.
Mm-hmm.
And he is kind of a has-been. Mm-hmm. Well, he is a has-been, but he's not into that.
He's reckoning with his own, I think, aging process, at this point too.
The boys that are in the back, AJ, Lucas, and Warren, they're kind of like making fun of, I can't remember, Jane. That's her name. His assistant.
Oh, yeah.
For being his like assistant for working for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just goes and quits her job to Joe. Like she tells Joe she's quitting. And I'm just like, I don't know about this.
Maybe she's been on the edge for a really long time. And those teenagers making fun of her was the last fucking straw.
Yeah, I am a joke. Like, fuck
I'm
this.
done. Yeah. I get treated like shit.
But and then I guess she just was like telling Joe. She's like, hey, by the way, I quit. I'm out. Like,
cause it seems as though they have a little bit of a history prior to this?
Either history or just incredible chemistry right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So this is funny. Burko comes into work.
Oh yeah.
Burko's played by Coyote Shivers.
Awesome name.
He was married to, at this time,
Baruch Assault.
He was married to Liv Tyler's mom at this time.
Whoa.
Yeah. From 92 to 99. Yeah.
Dang.
He was married to her mom.
That's a strange cast party.
I know. So he comes into work and he's kind of more of the punk looking guy.
Yeah, he's
like
edgy.
Punk musician.
Yeah.
No shirt, black vest.
Oh yeah.
Black hair.
Carrying a guitar everywhere around.
Yeah, just carrying a guitar. He's like Deborah's boyfriend on again, off again, you know.
Yeah.
And he asks, has anyone seen Deborah today? Like, so something had happened with them last night.
Yeah.
Joe is a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
We get a little boys dance party in the back room.
Mm-hmm. They be jamming.
Cause Joe is like stressed. So
he's on the edge.
I gotta drum this out. The place is bumping though. We see this is a busy, like, hub of the community place. And they're doing business.
You get to see these intersections or these like confluences of all of these different genres of music. Cause we have the Rex fans. Yeah. We have the grungy punk musician fans, like getting their CDs and whatnot. And make note that the classical section above just has no one in it, which is great. But this whole place is huge and it's jam-packed with people dancing, enjoying their own music. Oh, those HMV stations with the headphones. Yeah. Get to see all those different people enjoying music.
Room where you can go in and listen with the headphones. Exactly. So the owner, Mitchell, comes in. Mitchell's like talking to Rex Manning. We find out that it is a family business. His grandfather started it, was like a bathroom emporium, and then his beatnik father turned it into a record store. And that if he was selling toilets today, he'd be a rich man.
Fair enough. We all need him.
So the owner tells Joe that he's going to go to the bank and that he'll take the deposit. Ooh. And Joe's like, I'll handle it. And he's like, no, like, I'll take it. So Lucas distracts Mitchell, the owner, so that Joe can fill the deposit bag with not money.
Yeah, just paper.
Burko comes up to Deb and he apologizes to her. Like I said, it seems like they're together in some capacity and he's got guilt around something that happened between them.
Yeah. And
she tells him that it's not about him and it's how she is and that like she's fucked up and like it's, you know, maybe it was you one day, but it's something every day and it's me kind of thing. And he tries to touch her, like put a hand on her and she's like, don't fucking touch me. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah, please leave. That's all I want right now.
So she tells him to leave. AJ's on the roof practicing how he's going to tell Corey about his feelings.
You're like a bath. I like bath.
Yeah, he's like vanilla ice cream. No, or whatever. Like
French vanilla ice cream.
French vanilla, yeah. And then you see him like he's trying to approach her. It's 1:37. He can't do it. He doesn't do it.
Sweet.
He's too nervous.
Baby.
So we get another a montage here, and this is where this one feels more about how different people enjoy the space.
Yes. Right. Like I was mentioning.
Yeah, exactly. So the cops come in to arrest Warren. He's fucking not happy. They're carrying him out in handcuffs. He's bouncing around.
You're gonna regret this.
Yeah, he says, I'll be back and you'll be sorry, is what he says.
Mm-hmm. This little shit.
Joe tells Deb that he's there for her if she needs to talk. Like, she's like doing taxes, like in one of the sound booths or whatever.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he's like, yeah, like, and nobody can say the right thing to her, you know?
No.
And cause it's this piece of like, you're trying to fix me, like, what are you gonna fix me?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And he's like, and then he just says like, you're doing a good job. And he kind of leaves it at that. And you can tell that she's kind of like, that's the first thing that someone said where she's like, oh, yeah, okay. You know, like, that kind of got through because he just was like, he's not being aggressive. He's not being assertive. He's not trying to make it, you know, he's just forcing like, okay, help. But I see you. You're doing a good job. I'm here for you.
Yeah. And it really shows how much he cares about them.
Yeah.
Like a pseudo parent.
Corey asks Joe if she can take Rex if she can take Rex his lunch. And he's like, no, Burko's taking him his lunch.
No.
And she's like, no, I would really like to take it. And he's like, Burko's taking his lunch. Like, they're having this. And she just screams. She's like, ah!
Yeah, it escalated really quickly.
And he's like, okay. And she's like, thanks, Joe.
Bye.
And she leaves. It's so funny. So she's in their little lunchroom. She's lighting candles. She's arranging flowers. She's dancing sexily. There's wine. It's low lit. So there's also like the microwave and there's like, it's a dirty little lunchroom.
Yeah.
Rex comes in and she is ready to seduce.
Yes.
She says how she used to love him on some show that he was in back in the day. He was like, you must have been a baby. She says that she's not now. She undresses. He asks her age. She says old enough.
Oh boy.
And then he just kind of gruffly leans back and unzips his pants and he's like, rock and roll. And because I think in her mind, she's like, he's a lover, the songs that he sings, and it's gonna be tender, and it'll be a great.
She romanticized the
so
shit
much
out of him,
and him just like roughly leaning back and unzipping his pants was out. Like so not, and she just panics and runs out of the room.
It was instantly demeaning.
Yeah.
And it broke this spell, I think, that she was under.
Yeah.
And this idea of this femininity and sensuality and adulthood of like doing what she wants to do with this man she's idolized for so long.
Yeah.
And it turning into like this really crass, meaningless thing for him.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking for her.
Yeah. She bolts, she runs up to the roof, and AJ's up there, ready to tell her how he feels.
Oh, the worst timing ever.
She is overwhelmed right now. She's crying. She's like, oh, really upset. And AJ is just yapping at her, like trying to tell her. And she's saying, like, I can't hear this right now.
This is
like,
not a good time.
So she is, but he's just like, I think he's been on this all day. He worked himself up and he's like, he doesn't know what just happened.
Nope.
And he's like, I have to tell her right now. Yeah. Right? This is my moment. I'm doing it.
The worst time for both.
So he's not listening to her either. So he tells her, and she is just not in a place to hear this right now. And she's freaking out. She tells him, I just fucking threw myself at Rex Manning and it made an idiot of myself. Like, what is, like, I cannot. And he is like, oh, like, he's not loving that either. He's very upset about that. It was a very difficult moment. So Corey and Gina go for lunch next door at the pizza place. Gina is trying to cheer Corey up, and she's saying that they'll get her another guy. Like, it's fine, you know.
She's being a really sweet friend.
She is,
and she did not deserve what came at her.
This is really fucked up. Yeah. So Corey is like, I'm not like you. I don't need another guy. Like, why are you always trying to make me like you?
Ugh.
And Gina's like,
what?
Huh? Yeah. And so they start fighting, and Corey is insinuating that Gina sleeps around a lot and that she's a joke.
Yeah, full-blown slut-shaming of the 90s.
And Gina is like, well, you act like Little Miss Perfect. Like, who the fuck are you, right? And Gina leaves, and all I wrote is Eddie.
Oh, Eddie comes back.
Eddie comes up, and he's like chatting. I can't remember. I guess I thought I'd remember what he was doing, but I
just was like thinking everyone was hunky-dory. And it's like, where'd Gina go?
Yeah, and then she runs off, and he's like, hey, wait, you forgot your thing. And it's her like red bra that she had
your
been
thingy.
Wearing.
Yeah, you forgot your thingy.
She's like, what? So now we flash to Gina flirting with Rex Manning.
Oh, she's on a mission.
Yeah. They meet in the back room. So Corey tries to talk to AJ like nothing happened. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing, right? And then she was like, she just tells him, I freaked out because you're my best friend and I don't think about you like that, and that what we have is better than that. And he's like,
okay,
that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, he's not,
read the room.
Not having that.
Yeah.
So he leaves and she takes a pill. Deb is making buttons. This is where my obsession, my number one, I want a fucking button maker. I wanted a button maker since I first watched this movie. I request it every year.
Oh.
I guess I'm at a point where it's like I'm in my 30s. I can just buy myself a
yes,
button maker.
I guess you can.
I don't have to get it as a gift from my mom, but I just thought it was so cool. So she's making buttons for everyone. She passes them out. Corey says dishonesty. Mark's says Mark sucks.
She's reading them.
AJ says stupid.
Yeah.
AJ's now he like makes Deb dance to the Rex Manning song. And they're having a lot of fun. He like takes his shirt off. They're swirling and like he's being very silly. And at first she's like, no. And then she's like actually like having a lot of fun with it. And everyone's dancing and Corey's just watching them. Like no joy
she
there.
Is dead in the eyes.
She's seething right now. So everyone's dancing. Gina and Rex are fucking in the copy room.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Joe comes out and blows up at everyone again.
It's like, what the fuck is going on in my
Stop
store?
having fun. Jesus Christ. He's like, I hope you're having fun now because by next week, this is going to be a music town. Like, you're all fucked. They don't allow fun at Music Town kind of thing.
It's like fucking Footloose at this moment. No dancing in Music Town.
Lucas has the audacity to be like, what are we supposed to do, Joe? And fucking Joe has had enough of him. He drags him by the scruff of his neck into the office, tosses him in there, tosses him around a little bit. Office door flings back open. Lucas flies back out.
Yeah.
And then Joe comes out.
Just a little casual workplace. Physical.
Well, yeah, I know. But everyone kind of agrees that Lucas deserved it.
A little ruffian.
Like, cause it's like, get through to you. This is your fault, bro.
Yeah, we're
like,
in this because of
stop.
you.
So everyone's watching. He comes out and he's like, wait, where's Rex?
Mm.
And then Deb's like, better question, where's Gina?
Mm-hmm.
We can hear Gina giggling in this copy room and we can hear the machine going.
Yeah.
Everyone is like dispersing to go check around for her. Like they're like, oh, I'll check over
I'll
here.
check for her in the closet over
Yeah.
here. I'll check under the counter. Like,
fucking Eddie comes in.
yeah.
Like just again, like, what's going on, guys?
What's going on?
And then Corey comes in and she's trying to get into the back room. Mm. She's got like a till deposit or whatever. Yeah. And she's like, what's going on? Where's Gina? Where's Rex? Like, what's happening? Gina comes out of the back room.
Yeah.
And then Rex comes out. Zip. And Rex is like, what? No applause?
What a slime ball.
And AJ jumps him. They're tussling. They pull AJ off Rex. And then Rex punches AJ in the face. And Joe tells Rex to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then he also finds out his assistant quit.
Just
like,
quit.
This morning.
Yeah.
She hasn't been here for hours.
Yeah.
She's gone. So Joe tells Gina to go home and she asks if she's fired and he's like, have I fired anyone today? No, you're not fired. Just go home.
Literally look at this day. Everyone should have been fired at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Corey comes back and she confronts Gina about fucking Rex. Oh. And Gina is like, at least I don't hide what I am.
Ooh.
And then she goes to Corey's bag and she gets her pills. They're diet pills, and diet pills back in the day were fully just speed.
Yep. Methamphetamine.
Right.
Yep.
And she's throwing them on the floor. Corey's on her hands and knees picking them up on the floor. This is in front of everyone.
Yep.
Gina's like screaming at her. Corey's like, ah.
And
so,
she's high at this point too, because she's been popping these babies all day.
Yeah. Joe calls Gina off. And then Gina's like having a moment. She's like, it's always about her. And she storms out. Joe goes to Corey, because Corey's like on her hands and knees on the floor, head down. Goes to Corey and he's like, it's gonna be fine. Corey flies the fuck off.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's not fine. And she's like screaming. Starts breaking shit. The guys literally have to like pick her up.
Yeah, restrain her. She's got that speed strength.
Hold on.
This is like a breaking point that's been in the works for a little while for Corey.
Yeah.
She's been burning at the candle at both ends with speed. So like she was bound to have a break.
Yeah. Deb gives Corey a cold plunge.
Yeah.
And they have a really sweet moment.
This scene is so interesting. It's so stripped of like the stereotypes of who they are, and they just had a moment to connect. They see each other in a really strange, different way right now.
And that's literally what I said. I said Deb sees her.
Yeah.
Like, they're having this moment. And Deb is also doing the girl thing where she's fully just peeing in front of Corey.
Yeah, I was like, we've all done that.
Yeah. And but in that as well, it's just like real.
Friendly.
And easy.
Sweet. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'll piss in front of you.
No,
because this is no thing.
No.
We're not putting anything on, right? So Mark gets into those brownies, and then he sees himself in a Gwar video, and then
Please
he's like
describe what Gwar is, though.
Yeah, Gwar is like an older band. They're still around,
It's a real band.
Yeah, it's a real band.
On the credits.
And it's kind of metal.
It's monster metal.
It's monster metal, yeah. So they dress up as like orcs. Like they're orcs.
Yeah.
And shit. And it's like
demon tentacles and shit happening.
It's a vibe for sure. I used to work with a girl that really liked gore.
Love it. It's so intense. But he sees himself in the music video.
Getting eaten by this like sandworm. So that's just a little moment.
Yeah.
Rex's assistant Jane comes back and offers to be the new night manager and also asks Joe on a date.
Cute.
Yeah. The staff puts on a funeral for Deb.
Very interesting. She wanted to be dead. Let's give her a funeral.
I feel like, because this is also after her moment with Corey, and Corey's kind of the one who's putting this on, like putting it together. So I feel like there was this moment in their connection where Corey really saw like Deb as well, and that she is a good, caring person. And I think it made Corey want to
reciprocate,
try to do something for her as well.
Yeah.
So they're putting on a funeral for Deb. They're trying to be serious, but Deb keeps piping up. And then AJ starts talking about himself, about how he really wants to go to art school, but he's scared and he doesn't think he, can do it, whatever. Meanwhile, Mark is in the front by himself.
And
it is like fucking crazy busy.
And he's hallucinating. He's not okay. He yells on the PA.
Help! Somebody help me! So Corey starts talking about how she misses Gina, which is hilarious because it's like Gina left half an hour ago. And that Gina is really brave and that she wishes that she was like her. And Gina comes in, like she's listening, then she comes in and that she says that actually Corey is brave because she's getting out of here and I'm staying here and I'm really afraid I'm going to end up like my mother, and they're having this moment.
That one line though of like, you're not going to end up like your mother if you don't want to be ending up like your mother. Like that pure like self-awareness piece of like, if you don't want that, saying it out loud and noting it, actively noting it. It's powerful.
She's like, Corey always says that I'm brave, but I'm not. So she says that she really wants to sing in a band and that she doesn't even have the guts to audition.
Oh.
Lucas says that he wet the bed until he was 10 and that it was when he was 10 that his mom turned him over to the county. And that it was 3 years after that Joe took him in.
I did not see that coming. This other depth to this movie.
Yeah.
And the relationship between Lucas and Joe.
Yeah. So Joe is like Lucas's father, basically.
Yeah, totally.
Right? He's raised him
Foster
since
dad.
he was 13. Deb takes off her bandage and shows her scars. And she says that she tried to kill herself with a lady bic. And that she did it because she was just tired of being invisible.
Yeah.
On the floor, Warren comes back with a gun.
Warren.
So he's shooting up the place like Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
Bouncing
bang,
around,
bang.
shouting, shooting off at the roof. He has everyone hostage.
Yeah.
Joe tries to confront him, but he's got a fucking gun and he keeps shooting it. Deb just walks straight up to Warren. Like, she is not afraid of Warren.
Nope. And she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What do you think you're doing, right? So he's like, stop calling me Warren. My name's not Warren. Which is just hilarious. Cause that's a piece about this group too, is like, he gave an obviously fake name and they were just like, you say your name's Warren, you're Warren.
You're
then.
Warren.
Right?
We'll respect that.
Which I really like.
Yeah.
So Warren is flailing around and he's like, I don't need you guys. You guys are fucking crazy. Like, and he's like, Joe, Lucas steals $9,000 from you and you don't do dick to him. So what, are you going to give me a job now?
Yeah.
And they're all like, wait, what? Like, I'm sorry. You want to work here?
Like this giant cry for help of like wanting to work here this
and
whole
like
time.
Be a part of it. And they're like, literally, that's what this is about. Holy shit. So obviously they call the cops. The cops come back for Warren.
Yeah.
But before they take him away, AJ gives him a little employee badge that he makes for him. And the cops are saying, he's a minor. He put blanks in the gun.
Yeah.
There's really not a lot that's going to happen with
it.
And then Warren is like, wait, can you just leave it here for when I get back?
Oh, that moment. And this band of misfits, like coming together in all these different ways. It's like they immediately shift into accepting this fucking weirdo into their little family.
Deb gives Lucas $1,900. She sold her Vespa across the street. And everyone starts pitching in money. They have $3,500. They need $6 more grand to get the money back. Lucas says, he's like, I thought I knew what I was doing. but I didn't know what I was doing. Like, he's finally taking accountability.
Yeah.
Right? And he also gives up in this moment, though. He's like, tells Joe to just fucking call Mitchell before it's too late.
He'll take the blame.
End of the day, I'll take it, like, don't, like, I really fucked this up.
Yeah.
And Mark is like, wait a second. So there's news crews outside because Warren just fucking shot up the place.
Yeah.
Right? So Mark goes out to the news guys. They're like, hey, wait, Mark's on the TV. And he's on the TV and he's like, we're having a get together here at midnight. It's a big party, like
live music, come
beer,
on out.
all this. And he says, damn the man, save the empire.
Yeah, which has been a bit of a theme for Lucas throughout this entire movie. And it's like, of course I'm falling for the anti-establishment weirdo on the couch, of course. But this music scene I have seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I had no idea it was part of this. Like, I think I knew that it was part of the movie, but I had no idea what it meant in the movie. Yeah.
Now we have this awesome fucking montage. Everyone's setting up for this fundraiser. They're wheeling kegs down the street.
Oh, it's a party, baby.
Everyone's coming together. They've got donation boxes. They write 10, they cross it off, they write 20.
Yeah.
Get, donations. Give us your money.
Yeah.
Setting up the band on the, up above the, what do you call that? The sign on the front.
Marquee?
Yeah, above the marquee. They're setting up the band. On the roof. Everyone coming together. And people are coming because this place is a hub of the community.
And we see all the different kinds of people coming out. Yeah. We got the stoners and the hippies coming out of their van. We see the punk people. We see the preppy girlies come out.
We see the old ladies with their curlers in already.
Yeah,
like
sipping the brewskis.
Yeah, because as I said, like, this is a hub of the community. This is a place where people can come to be themselves, to be accepted, to be part of something.
Music does that.
And it's being threatened.
Yeah. And they will fight for it.
It's beautiful.
To the end.
So Mitchell shows up.
The suit.
Joe tells him that there was no money in the deposit bag, and Mitchell's demanding to know who took it, but Joe's not giving anybody up. And Joe tells him that he's going to open his own store and that he quits.
Love this.
On the roof, Berko and Gina are playing. Sugar High is so good.
She can, we all knew. Chicago, obviously. Yeah. But when she is in that, like, grungy punk rock, she's got the perfect kind of raspy, like, voice for it.
It's a huge street party. Mitchell's working alone.
Scrambling.
He doesn't know how to work the till. He's like, doesn't anybody work here? Fucking Warren shows up and he's like, I do.
Warren.
Yeah. Corey's looking for AJ. She's shouting in the crowd for him. They made the money back.
Oh, yeah.
Joe gives it to Mitchell. Mitchell's like, I hate this place. You love it. Let me sell it to you. Like,
all he had to do is work the till for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Let's take a minute. Let's really take a minute to sit with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Fucking so many owners could really learn a thing or two if they just took 10 minutes to work their fucking till.
On the ground. People have no idea what it's like on the ground.
Yeah. For real. So Gina takes the lead on the song. She is bouncing with pure joy. She's amazing. There is a universe where Renee Zellweger is the front woman for a band and not an actress.
I believe it in my heart and soul.
Yeah.
Like, it has to happen.
Yeah. And I would be a huge fan of that band.
Of course.
Yeah, for sure. She's so good. Lucas is in the office. We can hear the cheering from outside. He looks into the camera, breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And he's like, perfect. Well, not entirely perfect. Flash to the roof. Corey comes up. AJ's there. She pushes him over. She's really mad. She's shouting at him about how talented and special he is and how he's stupid if he doesn't see that and he can do anything. And that she does love him and she didn't realize what it was and all this shit. And that she also hates him. And he tells her that he quit. This is so cheesy. That he quit the store. Yeah. And then he's going to go to art school in Boston so he can be near her at Harvard. She falls back. And he catches her and they kiss. And then we see the sign lit up, Empire Records, since 1959. Corey and AJ are kissing. The rest of the staff are all dancing around them. They pull Joe up. They pull him in. Everyone's dancing. And the camera pans up and away. And that's it. Yay!
Yay! They did it.
Oh gosh. Wow, I really plowed through that.
What are you at?
1:18 and we started at 20 minutes, so that's pretty good.
Considering you texted me last night being like, there's 4 more pages than the Phantom of the Opera, we're screwed.
Just like, we're fucking getting through this. And now we can fucking talk about it more.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did an amazing job summarizing that, because I texted you back being like, well, they had a funeral for someone and Warren shot up the place, so there was a lot going on in this movie. Holy shit. So
much happened.
So many personalities, so many relationships, individual, like, conflict resolution pieces happening throughout the entire film.
That's why I was like, yeah, this was solid, like 3 more pages of notes than Phantom was, because Phantom is like, it's 45 minutes longer than this movie, but what's actually happening is like,
and still about music.
Yeah. Huh. All right. So,
iconic. This movie is iconic.
Yay!
I felt like I was, first of all, it's timeless. Besides the fact that he raised $9,000 to buy a fucking music store. Come on.
So that's not the money. It's just $9,000 to replace the deposit. He had his on his own rate. He has already done, like,
fair.
He's probably taking out a business loan to actually do it, right?
Like, the most unbelievable part of this.
No,
is him buying the
no.
music store for $9,000.
That's just like, here's your money back for that day.
Yeah.
And then we can still do this business, right?
And Music Town is not taking over. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a time capsule movie in the sense that you could take the entire movie and put it in any kind of time zone, if you will, and it fucking works.
They could remake this movie today. And
absolutely.
Also, like, I would watch it if they did.
A remake? Well, let the powers be out there do what they need to do to make Dakota's dream come true.
So you liked it?
I fucking loved it. And
Yay.
I love 90s movies. And I am so surprised that I haven't seen it. Because like I said, I know the musical number at the end, mainly because I was obsessed with Renee Zellweger in the Chicago era of my life. But this movie, it had a very interesting collection of misfit kind of stereotype characters, but not, because they broke those stereotypes down in different ways and flipped them on their head throughout the movie. And I just thought it was really well done. Great acting, great writing, phenomenal soundtrack. Of course, I'd be upset if they didn't have a good soundtrack.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What was who's your favorite character?
That's really hard.
I bet.
That's really hard. Can I have 2?
I'll allow it.
Gina and Eddie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gina is just like, I know her.
Yeah.
You know, I love, like, she's very complex. They're all in varying degrees complex characters. But Gina being this, you know, beautiful girl who's in her power as far as sex goes and being sexy, and she's confident with it.
Self-reflective, kind.
But that she's also, she's like, that's not all that her character is in this movie, that she has her secret world and she's a very caring friend and she's a fierce friend and she has her own dreams and she's also shy in her ways and she's scared of vulnerable and, I just think that she's a fantastic character and I love Renee Zellweger and I think she's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Eddie, because, I mean, he's just like,
there.
It's so funny. He's just like on the fringe at all times. He just keeps showing up in the room being like, hey, what's up, guys? And I feel like that is also an element where we need, like, we have Mark, but he's a little more involved, but we need kind of that character where it's like, this is just a day. This is just another day of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people are just doing their thing and hanging out.
And that's Eddie.
And like, that's what we were saying. There's big things happening for a lot of people, but some people are just clocking in.
Yeah.
And I love that. I just love, like I said, there's a real sense of community about this movie. These people care about each other. They have histories. And they kind of champion each other too, in a way.
Yes, they do support each other and like actively lift up. Even at that one point, Eddie was having a conversation with AJ at one point and trying to be real with him because Eddie kind of like you said, floats in and out.
Yeah.
And AJ's in the middle of rejection at this point.
Yeah.
And Eddie has this really soft moment being like, well, she's going to go away. Like, it's not going to work. You're going to be really far away.
Yeah.
Which instigates AJ realizing what his priorities are.
Yeah. Also in that, but the way that he does that too, because he's like, do you understand where Boston is or where Harvard is?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's in Boston. He's like, no, but do you understand? Like, it's full of
Your
guys.
different world.
What did he say? He's like, it's full of guys that like eat ivy.
Yes, like blonde hair guys that eat ivy. He has no real idea what like.
But it's like, that's true though. Like, it's another world.
And it's not like AJ decided to go to Harvard. He's like, no, I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
But I want to do it with you.
And be close, you know, whereas it's like, it's also not fair of AJ to drop that on her right before she leaves and to hold her, tie her into something that, let's be honest, is completely not, like, it's not going to happen.
No, and they had their both respective hissy fits in their own way of just like late teenage, early adulthood capacity, which I was like, oh, the drama of it all. But yeah, Eddie's great.
Yeah. What's your favorite
I
character?
fucking love Lucas. I love him.
Yeah, you did.
The weirdo on the couch.
Yeah.
And just his, I don't know, just, like, of course I'm falling for the weirdo, but I think he has this, like, maybe he knew all along that this was gonna happen.
I don't think so.
No,
I think that that's like really, it was like his protection piece of being like, it's all gonna work out in the end.
Yes!
Because he's like, and in the end, and then close to the end, he finally has this moment of being like, okay, I
need to
I admit it, I fucked up.
Yeah. I think he has a really pure heart. I think he got really upset at Joe, and we find out later because they had like a little bit more of a vulnerable, intimate relationship outside of this in that family sense. And he really had a bit of a, I don't know, like a tantrum or something, and he went off and like gambled the money, and he really wanted to, you know, stick the middle finger up to Joe, being like, I can't believe you're going to get rid of our home. Because I think that's what he thought.
And I'm going to fucking
I'm going to do something about it.
From happening, yeah.
And him kind of throughout the movie, even though he was being punished and sent back to the couch over and over and over again, and him carrying the couch pillow around. I just love that gag so much. And him fiercely protecting the store because it is his family and running after Warren after he shoplifted. I love them broken. That's for sure. Let me fix you.
Yeah, I think that this movie does have some unexpected depth.
Unexpected depth. I think that's a perfect way of putting it. And we could all see ourselves a little bit in one, if not many, of the characters.
Yeah, or even just being a customer of the store.
Just watching Dakota in like the booth the whole movie, just watching this happen. Wow, these guys are crazy.
And there's something too I like about like the pacing of the movie too, is that a lot happens. It's very chaotic. But there are also a lot of moments where nothing's really happening.
It's subtle.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
And it's just showing like this is just, again, like this is a day.
A mundane work day. Clocking in. Because they are like literally clocking in and clocking out at different points. Yeah. Which I think workplace comedies, workplace commentary about the man, how often that, let's take down the man.
I love damn the man,
damn
save
the
man,
empire. Save the empire. Like I love that we can all get behind this idea of maintaining and protecting and honoring these beautiful community oriented spaces. And I feel like our town's really lucky in that way. Yeah. Where we live, because
it's pretty fierce about that.
Yeah. There were bylaws at certain points that really blocked chains from getting in here.
Yeah. We don't have a McDonald's.
No. And, you know, if we do have some chains now, but they were fiercely contested for some years. I think there's a beautiful community piece around, I know the bookstore owner. Yeah. And I'm friends with her, and I love her, and I support her business, and I tell people to go there because it's not just a bookstore. You're getting the community vibe, the safety that she creates in that bookstore for so many different people.
And your money isn't just going to some faceless conglomerate. It's going to a woman and her livelihood. Yeah. And her life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a person doing what they love and surviving from that. And you're actively supporting that. Absolutely. As opposed to, you know, another penny in the coffers of some fucking filthy rich person.
The man.
Yeah. Yeah. The man. The man. Exactly. And I feel like the time, we didn't know it at the time when we drew this like 3 weeks ago or something. Yeah. But I feel like the timing for this movie, I didn't realize, like, after the day that we had yesterday, coming home and watching this movie, that theme of community and that theme of coming together and
belonging
and a belonging, I was like, oh wow, this is like a very interesting timing to be watching this movie.
It was so close to the surface for both of us, because we were both just in the thick of this sense of like open, belonging, family, community, protecting each other, like that fierce, like, what did you say? Championing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm so fortunate. I think we are so fortunate to live in this space in the middle of nowhere and have this deep knowledge of like, I know that restaurant owner. I go to their house for dinner. Or I know that person, they teach at that school. And we get to experience Empire Records on a daily basis if you stop to think about it.
Yeah.
And live it.
And live it. Love that. And I think too, I'm not done talking about it.
Keep going, girl. You're the one editing.
I think too that 1995 and how they handled like Deb's character.
Whoa.
I thought was really, really like incredibly ahead of its time. And even now I feel like people would still botch it. Like it wasn't heavy-handed. I think at times maybe a little bit, but I think overall they handled that character and that theme with such care.
Yeah.
And that it's a real thing that people are dealing with, and how she was reacting and how people were reacting with her, like those interactions felt really like, I don't know, very realistic to me, and I was like, to have this like central main character and this theme existing with all of this other shit is very real. That's how life is.
And the fact that we didn't get any answers or details other than the fact of what she was going through in that moment and what it meant to come to work the next day and be received in that way by her community. Like, I feel like it wasn't trauma porn in any way. You know what I mean by that? Where they go into the nitty gritty fucking details just to get the rise out of the viewer and make the viewer uncomfortable. No, it was about her overcoming that and choosing to live and choosing to come to work. And that's fucking nuanced, delicate, artistically crafted that they could have really fucked that up.
Yeah. And I mean, watching it growing up, it was like, oh, that's heavy, you know? But I don't think I really realized that until watching it, like, again, watching it now and being like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, they did a fantastic job about that. And I think that, too, because, like, I haven't seen this movie for a while. Like, I watch it. I have it on VHS.
Sure.
Like, I watch it every few years for sure. It's been a while. And I've been wanting to watch it. Hence why I was like, toss it in the hat so I get to watch it.
Yeah.
But I think I kind of, anytime we're choosing an older movie, there's fear of like, oh no, what's this actually gonna be like now? You know what I mean? Especially if you haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah.
There's that fear of like, what's gonna come up here? What maybe did I not clock in the past, or
what was
whatever.
I tolerating back then, which I'm not tolerating now?
Yeah. And so I did, when I actually sat down to it, I was like, oh, actually, I was nervous for, of just being like, what,
But I think they did that with every character. Every character in their own way in this, this store had that complicated backstory of the reason why the way they are, whether it be Corey's substance use issues for perfectionism and high standards, Gina's story related to ownership of her body and her sexuality, AJ not so as intense, just a puppy dog love,
which is also like
intense
great,
at the time,
but also it's like, awesome. He's like, AJ isn't a central character.
Oh, the dynamics between all of them are the store is the main character, right?
Yeah.
And I think they didn't go into detail of all of the nitty gritties of like, well, how is Corey gonna like come down from all that speed? Or like, how is she gonna figure that out? Is she gonna stand up to her dad? We don't get that. We just trust that in this moment, this day at work was pretty fucking instrumental in changing their lives.
Yeah.
I love how you get a peek at them individually, and how you don't get the full resolve.
Yeah, they're going to continue on in their ways and
clock in tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And after the credits, there's this little scene.
Oh, I missed it.
Really? Well, it's kind of during after the credits, but it's Mark and Eddie sitting on the curb outside of the record store after the party, and they're just talking about music. Oh. They're just sitting there and they're just talking about music and the direction that music is going, and they're talking about like, you know, they bring up like the Pixies and like Primus and like all this stuff, and they're just having this back and forth, and it's like that very real 3 a.m. conversation sitting on the curb, everything's closed, you drank all the drinks, you smoked all the smokes, and you're just like talking about what you think you know about what you love, right?
And these two have a really interesting relationship that we didn't necessarily touch base on, but when he gave him that mixtape with the brownies, there was this one line being like, this music is the glue that holds the world together. And I thought that was fucking poetic as shit, because music does have that capacity of like bringing all of these different people together. And you may not like that genre, but you see that person enjoying that music is a deep feeling of empathy. Like, we can use our empathy to like relate to that.
Yeah. And it was also a mixtape of, it had classical, it had, like, he was kind of walking through what it was, and he's like, this is an education for you. Yeah. This is why. And it's like that friendship thing too, right? Of like, I'm showing you, like, you
like
know?
the secret sage. Eddie was like the sage in the background.
As we're hatching it out more, Eddie's a dumb character. It's like, no, Eddie's like secretly holding it all together for everybody.
As he juggles 2 part-time jobs at the pizza place and the record store.
I feel like he's clocked in at both at the same time.
Back and forth, back and forth. Well, he's wearing his pizza uniform while at work at the store. I love that.
I'm actually so thrilled that you liked it.
Yeah. I was surprised.
Did Ty watch it with you?
Yeah, totally.
Did he like it?
Yeah. We both looked at each other and we're like, yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah?
We liked it, yeah.
You were surprised you liked it?
Well, because when you watch a movie without any historical context or like relationship with it whatsoever from the 90s, you're like, oh.
Well, it's also, it's scary for sure. And it's also like, how did I get this far without ever seeing it if it's that good?
I hope it's good.
And I also kind of like trash too, so it could have easily been trash. Oh wait, don't we have to rate this before you draw?
Okay, no, we'll rate.
I mean, where is this movie on the Billboard Top 100?
Ooh.
So it's out of 100%, I guess. Except opposite.
Of like my Billboard.
Yeah, Billboard Top 100. Where does this movie, cause it's music, right?
Yeah.
Where does this movie sit? One being the best, 100 being the worst.
Okay, since I don't have a deep relationship with this in that nostalgic
and not comparing
sense,
it to other movies, not like it's your personal, it's just like.
I think it's like, top 20. Yeah. And dare I say like closer to the teens.
So what spot is it in?
Oh, like exact number?
Yeah, what spot is it in on the Billboard Top 100?
23.
23. Really good.
Yeah, like it had a really, really good, like I said, they didn't dive into the details, but they wrapped it up in a beautiful cinematic way. I love a musical number at the end of a movie.
I know, right? Nothing says like everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, with Renee Zellweger just giving her all at the marquee.
So good. Honestly, you guys, like if you haven't seen it, at least YouTube Sugar High Empire Records.
Worth
that
it.
Scene, the song, it's so good. I love it.
Honestly, you will watch the movie after watching that scene though, because you're like, oh, okay, I want to know more.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
23. I think I think 14.
Okay. A little, it's in the teens.
Yeah.
It's up there.
I don't know. I still think about like, how I found it, how that movie came to me in my life.
That garage sale moment.
Who knows if I had, I mean, I'm sure I would have watched it by now if it hadn't.
Fate would have made you watch it.
But it's just, one of those little things where it's like, a butterfly flaps its wings and
the dinosaurs go extinct.
Awesome. Okay, now you draw. It's long. Yeah.
It's about fucking time. This is up there.
I'm having butterflies right now. My stomach is like flipping and flopping. Oh my gosh!
Right? Oh my gosh. It's setting in. And guess what season it is?
I know. Yeah.
Okay, I need to speak.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
You can get that.
Wow. I'm very excited for next week.
I'm very excited.
Very excited.
Very excited.
Very.
I think a dress code is necessary.
Okay.
And should we... Okay, no, we'll talk more about it.
Drink tequila and kill someone? Just kidding.
Yeah, we'll see.
I feel like that's a spoiler.
Should I
leave it in? Should I cut it?
I don't know. Leave it in. If you know, you know. Ride or die, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
And kudos to all of those folks who are guessing correctly on my dorky clues on Instagram.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to...
no, that's...
Wait.
Okay, yeah, we can say it now because it's last... So, shout out to the one and only.
This is gonna come out
after.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Just shout out to those who enjoy my clues and guess correctly.
Yeah, who guessed first last time. They nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I show you my clues and being like, is this too much or does it give it away? And then we do a little editing and then...
Sometimes it's just like one too many where it's like...
Okay, I get it.
But also it's hard because I know.
You know, so it's hard
right?
to know what you don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like I would be a better judge of if it's easy or not if I didn't know.
I might ask Ty to be the...
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm like, it seems obvious to me, but I know what it is.
Pretend to be ignorant for just a minute, okay? Can you
I don't have to pretend.
Feel how hot the banana is.
I don't like it. I don't like how warm that is. All right.
I guess the shit out of this banana.
I feel like I want to hold you hostage here for a while.
Okay.
I don't want you to leave.
I have so many errands to do.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks so much for... Oh, fuck.
If you want to get in touch with us, please feel free to reach out at newfriendcinema@gmail.com.
My new friend at Gmail. No, I'm just kidding. You always do that.
New friend cinema.
Yes, you said it right. Okay. I was just fucking with you.
You're trolling me.
I'm trolling you.
Already.
I don't know, you make me like, I'm vibrating.
You got the beans.
Yeah, I'm full of them now.
You got them now.
Okay. newfriendcinema@gmail.com, New Friend Cinema on Instagram, New Friend Cinema on Facebook, New Friend Cinema on TikTok,
New Friend Cinema in your heart and soul,
New Friend Cinema forever.
Please send us a little story about your favorite movie or your favorite go-to watch. Or even if you want to just say hi, that's cool.
Yeah.
And
we might read it on the pod.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, they play this M&M color game, so they all pick an M&M. Rude.
I wonder if that'll get picked up.
Probably not, but maybe.
Not with these mics.
Not with these fucking mics.
As I'm like deep throating the fucking mic to get heard.
Yeah.
There was an ambulance. We wanted to pause just in case.
So,
how do you want to rate your movie? Or like... oh. So that's...
Oh.
I don't like it.